Friend, today I'm going to give you some guidelines, tips, and tricks for tackling the IELTS Writing General Training Task 1. Before starting, if you have not subscribed my YouTube channel IELTS with Avatar, please subscribe it and press the bell icon for future notification. Now let me start with guidelines. Guidelines number 1. Understand the task. Read the task instructions carefully to understand what you are required to do. General Training Task 1 usually involves writing a letter based on a given situation or scenario. Guidelines number 2. Identify the purpose. Determine the purpose of the letter, whether it's to request information, make an inquiry, provide feedback, or express gratitude. Guidelines number 3. Plan your response. Spend a few minutes planning your response before you start writing. Outline key points you want to include and decide on the structure of your letter. Guidelines number 4. Use formal or informal tone. Depending on the situation provided, decide whether you should use a formal or informal tone in your letter. This will affect your choice of language and writing style. Guidelines number 5. Follow the correct format. Ensure that your letter follows the correct format, including the appropriate salutation, opening, body paragraphs, closing, and signature. Guidelines number 6. Stay within the word limit. Task 1 usually has a word limit, so make sure you stay within it. Writing more or less than the specified word count can affect your score. Guidelines number 7. Check for grammar and spelling. Proofread your letter carefully to correct any grammatical errors or spelling mistakes. This shows your ability to use language accurately. Now let's talk about tips and tricks to handle IELTS General Training Writing Task 1. Tip number 1. Practice writing letters. Familiarize yourself with different types of letters such as formal letters, informal letters, letters of complaint, letters of request, etc. Practice writing letters for various scenarios to improve your skills. Tip number 2. Expand your vocabulary. Work on expanding your vocabulary to include a variety of words and phrases that you can use in your letters. This will help you express yourself more effectively. Tip number 3. Use appropriate expressions. Use appropriate expressions and idiomatic language to make your letter sound natural and fluent. Avoid using overly complex language if it doesn't suit the tone of the letter. Tip number 4. Provide relevant details. Make sure to include all relevant details and information in your letter. This helps to address the purpose of the task effectively and shows your ability to communicate clearly. Tip number 5. Organize your ideas. Structure your letter in a logical and coherent manner. Use paragraphs to separate different ideas and ensure a smooth flow of information throughout the letter. Tip number 6. Be polite and respectful. Maintain a polite and respectful tone throughout your letter, regardless of the situation. This demonstrates your ability to communicate appropriately in different contexts. Tip number 7. Practice time management. Practice writing letters under timed conditions to improve your time management skills. Allocate a specific amount of time for planning, writing, and reviewing your letter. Tip number 8. Seek feedback. If possible, seek feedback from a teacher, tutor, or proficient English speaker on your writing. They can provide valuable insights and suggestions for improvement. By following these guidelines, tips, and tricks, you can effectively prepare for the IELTS Writing General Training Task 1 and increase your chances of achieving a high score. And don't forget to subscribe our channel IELTS with Avatar.